I'm your host, Dr. Pratibha Singh, Chairperson of International Academic Exchange Committee, Fogsi. And it is my proud privilege to welcome you all to this 227th episode of Gyan Pravah, a series that truly reflects our mission, the continuous flow of knowledge. Now, you see, each episode is not just a conversation, but a step forward in advancing women's health. But before we start, let me first extend a warm welcome to our President of Fogsi, Dr. Sunita Tandulwadkar, ma'am. So thank you, ma'am, for your valuable time and presence today. Now, in this digital era, preparation for global examinations like MRCOG has moved from classrooms to visual platforms, making learning more flexible, accessible, and inclusive. MRCOG continues to be a dream milestone for many gynecologists in India, although the journey often feels overwhelming. Now, today we will explore how virtual mentorship is bridging these gaps and transforming aspirations into achievements. And to guide us, I'm truly delighted to welcome a personality who has been a mentor not only to countless young aspirants, but also to me personally, as she was my teacher during my residency days at GRMC Gwalior way back in 1988 and 89. She is none other than Dr. Jyoti Bindal ma'am. At present, she is Vice Chancellor of Sri Aurobindo University, Indore, a visionary leader, a medical education and dedicated mentor who has helped many gynecologists achieving success. So welcome, madam. And before we begin, it's also my honor to introduce our President of Fogsi, Dr. Sunita Tandulwadkar, madam. She is President Fogsi 2025 and President-elect of ISAR 2526. A globally acclaimed IVF specialist and minimally invasive surgeon, she has received numerous awards and accolades. Among her many pioneering achievements is a historic milestone, delivering India's first stem cell baby in 2018, which was also the world's first stem cell baby born to a 45-year-old woman. So with these words, I most humbly request Madam to bless this podcast with your thoughts and guidance. So over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Pratibha. Thank you. And thank you for getting Dr. Jyoti Bindal, ma'am. It's always the love which we share, the connect which we share, and getting her on a Foxy platform in Gyan Pravah series is one of the wonderful steps you have done. I'm thankful to you for that. Dr. Bindal, we have 30 chairpersons. So on 30 days at 8 p.m., everyone has been given one date. So on that date, they will be there every month with one of the faculty from academic, non-academic, philosophical, spiritual, political, any background. We had Nitin Gadkari ji also on our podcast series. So it's beautiful. I thought these chairperson are future leaders of Foxy. Let them have a complete 1 hour platform of their own, have their creativity, their passion. They can be seen all over the place. But believe me, it helped me also meeting 200 plus faculty every day at 8 p.m. I'm joining. It's a 220 days. It's a huge commitment, but I'm enjoying that. I join only for 2 minutes to welcome the faculty, to show that the Foxy respects their time, what they have given for this Gyan Pravaha. So thank you so much, Bindal madam, and looking forward to see you sometime somewhere, definitely. Thank you. All the best, Pratibha. I'm sure this is a very interesting topic you have got into, and many more will like to view them, and you can send it across to all the medical colleges by emails, the link of your podcast. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And all the best to you and many, many congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Sunita. FRCOG is a big deal. We're so proud of you, as
Yeah,
always.
it is so lovely ki you are talking on MRCOG and I'm traveling to London for getting the FRCOG. Just the coincidence.
I know.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, take care.
Thank you,
Bye.
madam, and best
Bye.
of your journey, madam.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, madam. So, so now it's my honor to introduce not just a teacher and mentor, but also a visionary leader, Professor Dr. Jyoti Bindal, madam, who is at present the Vice Chancellor of Sri Aurobindo University, Indore. A distinguished academician and one of the most respected names in obs and gynae, she brings with her over 3 decades of rich experiences in advanced laparoscopy, oncology, maternal health, and medical education. And her remarkable contributions have been recognized with some of the very highest honors nationally and internationally, which include the prestigious FRCOG from Royal College of Obs and Gynae, London, the Fogsi Shiromani Award, and most recently, just this year, she has received Charak Award 2025 by Indian Medical Association, the highest recognition in medicine and healthcare. So many, many congratulations to you, madam. And her leadership has been truly transformative. She has increased medical and postgraduate seats, established super specialty hospitals, dedicated mother and child facilities, and set up the state's first Department of Transfusion Medicine in MP. During COVID-19, she stood at the forefront, creating a 1,400-bedded COVID facility with 250 ICU beds and promoting treatments for protocols that saved countless lives. So, big achievement, madam, big achievements. But her vision has always extended far beyond hospital walls. She has been a strong advocate for mental health, including these rehabilitation programs at Gwalior Mansik Arogyshala, and a compassionate social reformer supporting HIV positive women and children and funding girl child education initiative. So, yet beyond all these achievements, Madam's true legacy lies in her mentorship as faculty for MRCOG training. She has guided and inspired young doctors, shaping their future across borders and instilling in them a spirit of excellence. And definitely on personal note, this introduction is very special for me, as ma'am was my teacher during my heydays when I was in my initial phase of learning medicine way back in 1989 and 88 and 89. From her, I learned not just clinical skills, but also the values for discipline, compassion, and commitment to excellence, the lessons that still continue to guide me even today. So it is therefore a true honor and privilege for me as her student to welcome on this platform a visionary leader, a dedicated teacher, and a compassionate doctor, Professor Dr. Jyoti Bindal, Madam. Ma'am, we are truly grateful for your presence today, and thank you for your love, blessings, and guidance always. And before we begin, may I request you to share a few words of encouragement with us before we finally start our podcast. So over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, and thank you so much, Pratibha, for having me on this very, very inspiring platform. I'm amazed at the kind of leadership you've been exhibiting, and it's such a pleasure to see a person who has been in my earlier days, one of my proteges, which I strongly think even today. And it's such a pleasure to see you grow, and that makes the legacy alive. Thank you so much for having me. And I would also like to appreciate Dr. Sunita's vision, our president's vision of empowering all our chairpersons, and for having a share with me attitude towards the entire faculty. Thank you so much for having me today.
So thank you, madam. Thank you so much. And now we will start our podcast. And before we let the stage set in, virtual mentorship has emerged as a powerful way to break barriers, bridging world-class guidance to aspirant across borders. So today we are going to explore how virtual medicine is changing lives. So, madam, first and foremost, I just want to ask you that we know that MRCOG remains such a sought after qualification for gynecologists. Why do you think so? That it is so sought out, qualification for we gynecologists in India?
Primarily, Pratibha, I think because MRCOG is just not an examination. It's actually a global benchmark for excellence. Because it certifies a gynecologist's knowledge, gynecologist's clinical acumen, and the fact that it meets international standards. And when I talk of Indian gynecologist, I would say it opens doors to global opportunities. It opens academic credibility. And most importantly, it opens a higher quality of patient care. But I would also like to add on something which very few people know. Once a candidate has qualified with MRCOG degree, it is one of the few degrees which is recognized in India by National Medical Commission, and it is equivalent to our MD/MS obstetric gynecs. All you have to give is an exit exam, and then you can practice in India. You can be chosen as a faculty in any medical college, and it's as good in every way as MS OBGY. So, what I would call it, it's kind of a neat bypass,
Yeah.
and it's a wonderful opportunity because it makes your knowledge and degree equivalent to international standards.
I know, madam. This is actually everybody, as whosoever is a gynecologist, always think that she should have this degree with her. But now, what do you think this virtual platform has come, and now how it is changing this training? How does it is helping the doctors in India? How it is becoming more popular now? Why?
I think, you know what, this has totally broken the monopoly of geography. A
Yes,
doctor in a very small town who has no access to coaching can now log in,
yes,
interact with mentors, and feel equally prepared as anybody, let's say, in a city like Delhi or a city like London. It's almost like leveling the playing field. It eliminates the urban-rural divide, and it gives everybody access to world-class training. That's the beauty of virtual mentorship.
yeah, definitely. And madam, what we used to say, I mean, when I was doing my PG and when we were young and we were also thinking of giving this MRCOG exam, but we always used to feel it is really, really very tough. That is what most of the gynecologists they feel, that it is really tough. So what guidance you will give you, that how they should overcome these challenges and how they should continue with this journey and how they can take up this exam? I mean, it is very.
Def-
I've seen many gynecologists who have done MRCOG part 1, but they are not able to do part 2 or part 3. So that is, I've seen many of us in our city only, in Bhagalpur also have few of them. So what guidance you should give them?
I would say MRCOD is a big name, and like any big exam, one feels overwhelmed just by the title itself. But you know what mentorship does?
Mm,
It breaks it into bite-sized goals. Instead of climbing a mountain, I would tell my candidates to take small, steady steps,
yes.
mock exams,
Mm,
feedbacks, and sometimes even just the mentor saying that you're on the right track.
mm,
It cuts anxiety by half of the
yes, yes.
candidates because the challenge is overcome by a difference in approach. You have more applied, more analytical, and more evidence-based approach. So, what actually helps is a structured mentorship because that would break the whole syllabus into achievable milestones One can offer mock exams, one can provide emotional reassurance. So it's not only about giving information. Mentorship is about hand-holding throughout the journey and even after.
Yes,
That's what I would talk.
yeah. And what do you think that how it is different from our postgraduate exams? I mean, MRCOG and PGs. How does it?
Well, in India, the postgraduate training is content heavy. That's one word for it.
Okay.
While MRCOG it does how you apply your knowledge in real clinical scenarios. So it's more about judgment, it's more about ethics, it's more about patient safety, and the skills which will actually make you a globally competent doctor. So it emphasizes on more on applications, more on problem solving, and international best practices. So it helps it actually wants the candidates to think like clinicians,
Yes.
clinicians working in the system and not just like exam takers. That will make it different from our PG teaching or
I think
training.
for PGs, we are more academically. I mean, we
Exactly.
are more,
And as I said, it's very content heavy.
Practical, yeah.
So MRCOG part 1 only focuses on more on theory, analytical part, the basic sciences. And then the part 2 is totally clinical based scenario. I mean, part 2, 70% questions come from Green Top guidelines.
Okay.
So that's one very, very important fact.
Yes. So you have to study that evidence-based guidelines you have to.
And that's what
follow.
we as mentors do. We
Yes.
take each guideline in hand, we divide it into small structured steps, only the relevant points which one needs to remember, and then give them a follow-up mock question answer session. So that thing is totally imprinted.
Yes, definitely. And that is what I think this virtual platform is doing.
That's
so how
absolutely.
this artificial intelligence, I mean, that is coming in everywhere now. So how that is helping in this? Like you are a faculty. So how does that help?
See, the technology definitely helps me to prepare more flexibly, more interactively, more collaboratively. I can conduct virtual classes, I can conduct exam style question banks, I can have peer discussions, and actually real time doubt clearing sessions. Like it's an exam like environment, yet it's far superior to self study. And it's much, much superior to plain classroom coaching. So I would say it's highly personalized, it's very interactive, and very, very, I will use a strong word and say immediate problem solving.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So a very fresher who wants to start, I mean, wants to appear for this exam, or she's a very, I mean, she wants to clear this MRCOG exam. So, but she feels that it is really very tough. So what are the benefits? How you can, with this virtual platform, definitely with this virtual platform, how you can reduce anxiety for such people, such young doctors?
So, this platform helps them in not feeling isolated. They feel that they are in a virtual classroom. There is no travel stress.
Yes.
Then the mentors are there readily available 24/7 to reduce their anxiety. There's so much flexibility now in the timetable because once we give our lessons, we share the recordings with them, we share the mock drills with them, we give them exam platform. So there is so much, and we give them flashcards for instantly remembering before the exam.
Very good. So, madam, I mean, I didn't know that. Frankly speaking, I was not knowing that you are, I mean, doing this virtual platform and you are the mentor for such big exam. So, for how long you have been doing this, and any success story you can share with us, with any aspirant MRCOG, any of your mentee who was benefited by this virtual platform?
Actually, you know what? When I started seeing the talented doctors giving up halfway.
Okay.
As you rightly said, part one was clear, and then
Yeah.
they just gave up because they thought it was not because they lacked knowledge.
Yeah.
I think it was because they lacked guidance. They didn't know
Yes,
which way
definitely.
to go. So I started mentoring because I really saw them struggling totally unnecessarily.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
these virtual, I had actually started by physical classrooms, but
Okay.
this virtual mentoring helped me to extend my reach. And I would say one of the success stories I remember was the young doctor from a tier two city
Okay.
and who actually cleared her part three in first attempt. And she told me that it is the structured practice session which made her so confident. And for all the gynecologists listening
Hmm.
to this podcast, I would just give a small example of how the structure. For example, in India, in our PG training, when in an exam, the patient is lying down and the
Hmm.
external and internal asks us to examine.
Yes.
Most of the candidates do not begin by counseling the patient. They do not tell, I'm going to examine you now. Have you gone and passed the urine? Small things like this. This is what is actually the structured training. The
Okay.
small tips.
Tips you give. Yeah,
I
that's
mean, they would definitely, all of would know how to do an antenatal examination. They
correct.
would do definitely all the steps of observation, palpation, auscultation, everything they'll do. But they will not voice out their observation findings. That is what is different in this.
Definitely. So you are pointing out those mistakes which normally uh, people tend to do because this is something very. I mean, if you have been in the practice, I think you will be able to understand that you have to stepwise you have to do everything. So that is what you are teaching them.
Also, I like to tell my candidates that they should never underestimate the time management. They should also rely on the routine training. They should not delay their mock exams. They always think, oh,
Hmm.
let me study a little
Hmm.
bit more. But actually, early practice is the main key
Okay.
because they want to do what we call just learning, remembering, ratta, what we say, instead of understanding the
Hmm.
principles.
Yeah.
So I always and always, as the mentor, direct them towards the evidence-based applied learning, and which is actually the key difference between an MRCOG training and our routine Indian
Yeah.
MSMD training.
Okay, okay, madam. Because I mean, when we were young, or about all our very senior doctors, they are MRCOG, FRCOG. They are all. We have in our Bhagalpur also. We had a very senior gynecologist, Dr. Quadros. She was FRCOG in those days. But whenever she used to tell, she used to tell it is really very difficult. We have to go there, stay there. Then you have to. I mean, you have to learn everything there. So that was very difficult, but I think with this virtual training and virtual platform which has come, it is really helping people to prepare these exams and clear these exams. So how many centers do you think, I mean, in India we have a center for, I mean, all the three this thing, or only for MRCOG part one?
So, MRCG part 1 and part 2 are online exams,
Okay.
and part 3 is the physical exam.
You have to go there and give exam.
No, no, we have center now in India. We have center
India.
in
Okay.
Mumbai, we have center in Calcutta. So very regularly they have part 3 exams there,
Part
and
three,
part
yeah.
1 and part 2 are held very
Oh,
regularly online.
uh,
There are a lot of mock exam platforms also. We also offer them. But yeah, definitely. Uh, and also just to clear one important thing, because the Royal College has different degrees and different systems for different specialties.
okay.
So MRCOG is an exam-based system, part 1, part 2, and part 3. But FRCOG is only given after 10 years of
Okay.
MRCOG
Yeah.
ship and only when they feel that this gynecologist in UK has been working very strongly in their fields, or it is given honoris causa. So there
Okay.
are two types of
Two types of
FRCOG. Yeah.
participation.
So like that. But FRCOG is not an exam based. It's
Okay.
given. It's bestowed.
So,
It's good.
so like I mean, the doctor who has done MRCOG here, who has cleared part MRCOG. So, how she is going to get FRCOG? She has to go to London, I mean, to UK and
No,
stay there.
no. She has to showcase her work.
Work.
She
Yes.
has to show her that, like when I got my FRCOG on this causa, they looked at all those years of my work. They closely, there's a huge committee. It's very, very strong committee, and they look through your work. They see your publications. They see your researches. They see your academic fields. All those things are taken into account, but that's for honoris causa. These are the fellowships given. But FRCOG, when I went for the ceremony, FRCOG honoris causa was only for me, but
Uh,
there were a lot of fellowships, a lot of FRCOGs which were given to those doctors who'd been practicing for at
yes.
least 10 years after
10 years.
MRCOG. So
Yes.
yes, so
So,
that is
and this, I mean, I also want to give one statement here that when this podcast will be, I mean, will be live, our President Fogsi, Dr. Sunita Tandulwadkar, Madam, will also be FRCOG. So once again, I want to congratulate her for
it's
this.
a very big honor. It's
Yeah,
for
it is a
sure
big,
a big
it is
honor.
a very big honor. Yes. So, ma'am, next I want to ask beyond exam, how does MRCOG help in clinical practice? Like you have done your MRCOG, but you have not done your PG in India, and now
So
you are working.
So it actually transforms your practice because you start approaching cases with international guidelines in mind. You're more structured in your decision making, and automatically your first instinct is patient safety. And that's what makes it so valuable even beyond exam. So that is the spirit, and that is the beauty of MRCOG.
Yeah. So it is mainly the safety and the teamwork and the approach to the patient. Very,
Absolutely. Very structured thinking it makes.
very important. Yes, madam. So finally, I just want to ask what message you want to give the young gynecologist aspiring for MRCOG, but they are hesitant about this long preparation and this journey because most of the time these girls, I mean, when I was doing my house job, I got married. Then I had my child. So that all you go into family way. So what advice you can give or what message you can give who really wants to be MRCOG?
I would only say that don't see MRCOG as an obstacle.
Mm.
See it as an investment in yourself. If there is consistency and if there is a good mentorship, it's
Mm.
absolutely achievable.
Yeah.
Please remember, you're not preparing alone. You're joining a community, and this
Mm.
community is actually cheering for your
Yes.
success. So, the discipline you will develop, it will not only get you the exam success, but it will
Yes.
give you a lifelong practice standard. So, that's the beauty of doing MRCOG.
Yes. Yes. Yes, madam. So it was very interesting talking to you. It was really inspiring also. I think those now I don't want to be MRCOG because I am just now approaching to my almost I don't know. We cannot do now. Can it be
Course you
possible?
can. Of
What
course
is
you
the age?
can.
I mean, is there any age?
Absolutely. No, you must do it. If nothing, just to gain that extra bit of, you're so knowledgeable yourself, just a little different approach. You'll love it.
Uh,
Trust me, you'll love
so,
preparing for it. I mean,
so age is not the limit. That is what I want to
100%,
tell everyone. That
100%.
it is not that now you cannot do. You can go and do this MRCOG and you can be achievable and you can take one more degree with you. So
I
with
mean,
this,
I'll just give you a very small example. It's like today I was doing the topic preparation for PPROM.
uh,
And when should we deliver such babies?
Uh,
So, till what point should you offer the expectant management? How long can you, small things, on all those
mm,
are either Cochrane reviews or big
yeah.
studies, you know. So, these are very, very different from our normal PG
Yes.
studies
Yeah,
from
definitely.
textbooks.
Yes. So that is why it is so, I mean, you have to be evidence-based medicine, which is now we are talking, that should be. That is very important also because
100%.
now in this medical legal era, I think you should be practicing
Absolutely.
evidence. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yes. So, ma'am, now little bit of some fun type of things we will do. So I will give you a few rapid fire questions. So I will request you to answer those in one word or two words. So what one word that best describes MRCOG preparation?
Transformative.
Okay, transformative. Very good. Okay, so for any studies, like whatever study, even if you are doing your MBBS or something, morning studies or late night studies, what do you prefer and what do you advise?
Whenever you can be consistent.
Consistent. Okay. Don't you think that morning should be good because you are more
No,
fresh or something like that? No.
no. There are a lot of people like me who have only done late night studies.
Late night
So whenever
studies.
you can be consistent.
Very good. Now, what do you advise in one line for nervous candidates before the exams? I mean, those they know everything, but they are very, very nervous.
Trust your preparation. Don't trust your panic.
Definitely. And be concise. Okay. So, and if you have learned well, I think you can reproduce. One common myth about MRCOG preparation you would like to break for we Indian doctors.
The myth is that only toppers can pass. The
Yeah,
fact is that persistence matters more.
yes, yes. Anybody can excel. If you have that capacity to work hard and be consistent, I think it is not difficult.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And if you want to give MRCOG success formula in 3 words, what it would be?
I would say discipline,
Yes.
practice, and confidence.
And
And if
what
you want
about
to
guidance? I think guidance is very important, madam, because without guidance, I have seen many people they are not able to do it because MRCUG is something because for us it is like a big sea you are going, you don't know how to start with the exam. So I think
you if you want me to put it in one word, the success formula, I would say practice, practice, and practice.
definitely very nice, madam. So,
And you
madam.
can't practice without guidance. So
Yes,
I'm
yes, definitely,
combined.
definitely. You should have a mentor, you should have a guide with you, your guru,
Absolutely.
somebody, yeah, who can just guide you. So, absolutely wonderful, madam. Now, a few personal questions with you, madam. So, ma'am, you have a remarkable journey. I have been seeing you for last, I think, 4 decades, and you were a very good clinician, academician, and now you are a administrator. You are the vice chancellor. So, how do you balance this moment? What define your moments that shaped your career path?
I would say every institution that I've helped building and every life I've saved in the labor room, they are my milestones. That is what I would say, that both matter equally. For me, the system and the individuals. So if I talk of my defining moments, I would say building the institutions from scratch, whether it has been establishing the new medical colleges or setting up a 1,400 bedded COVID
COVID,
setup or increasing MBBS or PG seats. Those moments shaped me as a leader. But equally, saving every mother, every child, having a safe mother, having a healthy child for whom I've cared
yes.
has defined my journey.
Because I know, madam, you are the, I think, only doctor in your family. Your children,
Absolutely.
so you have come up on your own way. I know.
Yeah, I come from a family of doctors, that in the sense that
But
I'm
I think
uh,
you're,
in my married life, yes. In my
yes.
family, nobody else is there. But also, Pratibha, I'm the only father and daughter duo who has held the same post of Dean Medical College Indore.
Okay. Okay.
So yes,
Yeah, that way it is. Yeah.
that's a
So
special.
now balancing leadership role, academic responsibility, and personal life. So it is never easy. So how do you do that? And what keeps you motivating for that?
I take it not as balance, as passion. I think it's my passion which is keeping me going. And of course, 100% my family support, especially my husband's support.
Yes.
So I always prioritize, I delegate, and I always remind myself that the purpose is larger than the role. Once we reach that thinking that we are not bigger than the system, we are not bigger than the institution, it is the goal which needs to be achieved rather than who achieves it. Then we can definitely have the correct balance.
Very nice. Very correctly you have said, madam. But I think it requires lot of encouragement from your family and lot of dedication and lot of strength also, because it's not easy. I mean, balancing everything together is really
Absolutely.
difficult. So, madam, mentorship seems to be close to your heart. You have made so many doctors and so many, I mean, you are guru to so many young doctors, and now for us also, you are guru to us also. So, your mentor or experience in your early years that inspired you to guide others so passionately.
I think
Any,
I had teachers who believed in me even before I started believing in myself. So that their belief in me, I think they taught me that the mentorship is not about information, it's about transformation.
yes.
They transform. That's how I take my teachers.
Yeah, and I think that everybody should learn how you can be transforming others' life. Like,
Very, very
yeah,
important.
once you reach to that level, I think you should always create some. I mean,
Legacy.
you should at least give some education, some guidance to your
100%.
juniors. Very important. And if you want to leave one life mantra or guiding principle for young doctors today who are listening to this podcast, and I think, as Madam has already said, that this will be broadcasted in I mean, I will be sharing with the PGs and all, because they will be more interested in knowing all these things. So, what mantra you want to give them, and what principles they should follow so that they can come up with flying colors and they can
I would
succeed.
say, I
Yeah,
would say excellence with empathy. Very, very important. Consider every patient as an individual, as a human being, and not just an object. If all of us think like that, we can never go wrong. Empathy is the mantra for our practice.
yeah, definitely. And if you can remember any student who is a mentee, your mentee, for just one quality which you want to be in, I mean, you want to say that this quality should be there for anyone to be MRCOG, or those who are aspiring for MRCOG, or for any
I
exam as such.
I think the once you're successful, then you should empower others
Yes.
because once it's not you have to be best in your knowledge, but you have also always remember that there is a human behind the patients.
Mm.
So definitely, if it's students or patients or colleagues, I want to be remembered as someone who made others believe in themselves. That
Definitely.
should be the quality to be remembered
Qualitative.
for.
Yeah, definitely. You have been, I mean, you are seeing both sides, like east and west, both. In UK, I mean, you are mentoring MRCOG people, and here in India, you have been working for so long, and still you are working. So, what change you dream of seeing in the future in the medical education for us, for Indian doctors?
I think our education needs to be globally aligned. We need to reach there. we still need many steps. So our education should be globally aligned, but it should be rooted in compassion. That is what we should be very compassionate about our patients, our students, our colleagues.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And any motivating force or piece of wisdom that has guided you to throughout your journey and continue to inspire you till today? I know your father is one inspiration to you, and you have reached to that. I mean, you have seen him and you have reached to that level also. But anybody else, or
I think the idea that medicine is not just a career, it's a service.
yeah,
So every institution which I've initiated, I've led, every project which I've worked in, it was always led, or it was always guided by the idea that I want to leave system stronger than I found it. That is my key thought always. And again, as we talked of family support, till date, I cannot remember ever being questioned by my husband why you're late if you're late from returning from work. So that's a huge, huge plus
support.
factor in
Yeah,
my life.
yes, definitely, madam. So, a very personal question. If you weren't a doctor, then what alternate career you would have chosen?
That's a very tough question. I just wanted to be a very, very good human being. But then the alternate career I would have loved to have, which thank God being in the medical education has helped me, is teacher.
Teacher, yeah. Even I
Although I
thought
do
teacher.
have a law degree, so yes, I am also a kind of a lawyer by
Lawyer.
knowledge. But
Uh-huh.
I would only say that any profession, we must dream big, but we must stay grounded. That's very, very important.
Absolutely. Perfect, madam. Now, what message would you give to young doctors who are at the beginning of their career?
I would only like to put it in one liner is that your degree will give you knowledge,
Yeah.
but your compassion will give you legacy.
Yes, yes,
So it's
definitely.
such a pleasure when the mother-in-law comes and says that this is the wife of the son you delivered.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
So yes, two
That
or
is
three generations coming is
hmm,
your legacy.
definitely, definitely, madam. So, madam, I mean, wonderful. Anything else you want to share with our viewers if you want to give some
I,
message? Yeah.
I think MRCOG should be tried by everybody. It's not a difficult exam. Even for seniors, it helps us in brushing our knowledge
Yeah.
and it helps us in approaching even any stage of our lives. It helps us in approaching it with a different thought, with different style, different way of practice. So yes, I think it's gynecology is a beautiful subject, obstetrics even more so.
Hmm.
And I think everybody who decides this subject is a wonderful person because she's already made the great beginning.
Yeah. So, madam, thank you. It was truly enlightening. And I love how you highlighted both the academic and the emotional support aspect because that is very important. Because this is not just an exam, you have to have emotionally strong to take up this exam because this exam, when normally any gynecologist takes, she is or he is in, I mean, he's a little bit elderly only. So that is the time when they are in the family way or they are married. So you have to be very strong and you have to be very clear that you want to do this. And for that, you really require a mentor. And I think you are the best mentor which can guide and which can make them successful. So many, I mean, listeners will relate to that and could. So it was, thank you so much. And any story if you want to share which is very close to your heart which you want to just tell to our uh, students and all the viewers here.
So when I was doing my PG, Pratibha,
Yeah.
I had a I mean, I was married in a very rich family, and there
Yeah.
was no issue about the financial part. And I was given the offer of establishing my own big, huge hospital, etc., etc. And here I was doing PG in a government medical college. I took a patient in with rupture uterus.
Okay.
The man asked me, Madam, can you guarantee that once you do take her for surgery, she will survive? She will live? I said, no, I cannot guarantee that, but I can guarantee that if I do not take her for surgery, she will
She will
die.
definitely die. Yeah.
This man took the dying wife with a rupture uterus back to his home without surgery because he said to take an alive person costs me 70 rupees in ticket. If I take a body back, it will cost me 300 rupees.
Oh my God.
That transformed my thought that I will always work in this setup where I can give service free of charge.
Oh God.
That is
Wonderful.
something,
Yeah,
which
definitely, definitely. Yeah, I still we live in a poor country, and I mean
absolutely.
every now and then we see such type of
And
incidents. Yeah.
unfortunately, I'm in a state which is highest today in maternal mortality and neonatal mortality, and it hurts me to no end.
Yes, yes, madam. Definitely. And you have, I know, whole of your, I mean, your journey is through medical colleges and government hospitals and setting up big hospitals, I mean, in the government setup. So that is what you have done. And we all are going to remember you for that. That is wonderful
Thank you so
what you
much.
are doing. So with this, I think, shall we conclude our podcast now?
Thank you so much, Pratibha, for giving me this topic of discussion because very few people talk of my mentorship as for MRCOG, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
so glad that we spoke about it
Yeah. So,
today.
madam, let me give you thanks at least.
Thank you
So,
so
as we
much.
conclude this enriching podcast, I feel truly privileged to have had the opportunity to speak with our esteemed guest, my guru, Dr. Jyoti Bindal, madam. So, thank you so much, ma'am,
Thank you so
for
much for having me.
sharing your incredible journey, insights, and wisdom with us today. So
Thank
many
you
things
so
we
much.
learned from you. Your words have not only highlighted the vast possibility in medical education, but also reminded us of the timeless values of dedication, innovation, and compassion. So, listening to you has been inspiring and deeply humbling. I think everybody will agree with that. And what I want to say that preparing for MRCOG is not just about passing an exam. It is about embracing a journey of growth, discipline, and aligning with global standards in women's healthcare. That is what you were wanting to say. So, with the
Absolutely.
right guidance and flexibility of virtual training, no dream is too distant and no goal is unachievable. That is what I
Very
want to
nicely
tell.
put.
Yeah.
Very nicely put,
So,
Pratibha. Thank you
virtual
so much.
mentorship has truly become the bridge that connects dreams to success for MRCOG aspirants worldwide. For me personally, this conversation has been very special as I share this platform with my mentor and teacher. So, thank you so much. And the
Thank you once again.
lesson I learned from you at the very beginning of my career, it still guides me today. And I take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to you in front of everyone. Thank you so much, madam.
Thank you,
Once
Pratibha.
again, ma'am, thank you for taking this time to be with us. Your contributions are deeply appreciated. And I would like to extend my gratitude to our Sunita madam also, President Fogsi, who has provided us with this wonderful platform that encourages continuous learning and meaningful academic exchange.
And very
Because,
nicely
yeah,
titled Gyan
yeah,
Pravah.
yeah. It is through these initiatives that we are, as a medical community, continue to raise the bar and remain at the forefront of progress. And to our viewers and aspirant candidates, remember, with the right guidance, discipline, and determination, crossing border is no longer a challenge. So we wish you all the best to all of you and
Thank you.
thank you for joining us. And I'm sure this must have been a great learning experience for everyone. And this is Dr. Pratibha Singh signing off until we meet next again. Let us keep learning, keep growing, and keep striving towards a healthier tomorrow. Stay hopeful, stay informed, and take care. Goodbye, good night, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam.